Clara Brown was an amazing lady. She worked and worked to find her family and reach all of her other goals. While doing that, she helped others. She put other needs first instead of hers. Clara Brown accomplished many good things. She didn't let anything stop her. It was never easy for Clara, but that didn't stop her one bit. Aunt Clara Brown was often called Angel of the Rockies. She faced enormous challenges and reached wonderful heights in her nearly 85 years. Clara also helped people of all races, but worked especially hard to bring back people out of poverty and enslavement. Clara was born into slavery. When Clara was about 3 years old, she and her mother were sold to Ambrose Smith. At age 18, Clara married a slave named Richard. Within 4 years, Clara and Richard had 4 children. Their children's names are Richard, Margaret, and twins Paulina Ann and Eliza Jane. When Paulina Ann was 8, she drowned. Clara's oldest daughter Margaret had been sold to Mr. Bendigo Shelton near Morgantown, Kentucky. Clara kept in contact with Margaret until she died. Clara lost contact with her son and husband. It was too hard to keep in contact with them because they were being sold to many different owners. Eliza Jane had been sold to James Covington of Logan County, Kentucky. In 1852, when Eliza was 26, she was sold to a new owner and Clara could not locate her again. When Ambrose Smith died, Clara was purchased by George Brown, a plantation owner. She spent most of her time searching for her loved ones. Clara had heard rumors that her daughter Eliza Jane had moved west years earlier and decided to search for the family she had lost. Clara headed west, moving from state to state, working as a cook and laundress. After years of writing letters to officials in various locations, Clara received news that a black woman named Eliza Jane was living in Council Bluffs, Iowa in 1822. Eliza was about the right age to be Clara's daughter. Clara immediately traveled there to see if this woman was her daughter. Miraculously, it was her daughter. Clara worked for a family leaving for Kansas, but she was anxious to move farther west. She saved enough money for the trip, but blacks were prohibited from riding the stagecoaches. In April of 1859, Clara met Colonel Benjamin Wadsworth, who offered Clara a job in exchange for free transportation on a wagon train headed for Colorado. Clara didn't find any news of her daughter in Denver, so she followed the miners into town of Central City. She opened a laundry shop business for gold miners and also worked as a midwife, cook, and nursemaid. Clara made extra money by cooking and cleaning for the miners, working long hours, and denying herself any luxuries. Aunt Clara Brown founded the construction of St. James Methodist Church, and she was one of the founding members of the first Sunday schools in existence. Clara used her home as a school classroom. In 1879, Clara acted as an official representative of Colorado Governor Pitkin of Kansas. Many black people had escaped from the South and moved to black homesteads in Kansas. This was sometimes called the Black Exodus, and these people were called Exodusters. Governor Pitkin sent Clara to Kansas to try to persuade some of them to move back to Colorado. Clara's 2 most important goals were to make enough money to live independently and to find her family. She figured that accomplishing the first goal will help her with the second. On April 12, 2011, Roger Baker appealed the Negro Hill to be named Clara Brown Hill in her honor. Clara Brown was believed to be the first African American woman involved in the Colorado Gold Rush. The Colorado Gold Rush was a time when people moved to Colorado to find gold and build houses and become rich. Clara walked the tiring 8-week, 700-mile journey, arriving in Denver in 1859. Clara Brown's family was separated by slavery. While searching for her loved ones, Clara found other family members. Clara and her family members made many sacrifices to find jobs and a place to live. She also helped family members move to Colorado, and those family members helped Clara after a flood ruined all of her belongings and her papers that proved that she owned property. Clara Brown's accomplishments are finding her daughter Eliza Jane. She searched for years and never gave up. Clara owned 6 lots in Denver, 3 properties in Central City, properties in Georgetown, and properties in Idaho Springs. She had $10,000 in her savings account and had paid all the travel expenses for the ex-slaves she was helping get from Tennessee and Kentucky to Kansas City. After bringing the ex-slaves to Kansas City, Clara paid another $3,000 for the wagon train from Kansas to Colorado. Clara accomplished many things. This is a newspaper article written about Clara Brown in 1879 from the Denver Tribune. The Denver Tribune interviewed Clara when she was sick. Clara died 2 days after she found her daughter Eliza Jane. Clara Brown was an amazing lady. She did many good things to help others. She was very passionate and is an example to me because she showed me that all people should be kind and hardworking. I will always look up to her.